stand by, ladies and gentlemen. Anytime soon we are starting. Now, for those of you with the mobile phones on your hands, you're planning to take pictures, please go ahead. But for those of you, if you do have your mobile phones on your hand and you find it difficult to clap, you can actually make some noise. Alright, as well. So now, ladies and gentlemen, like, you know, little screams in the air, it is after all a big day and you are allowed to. So, anytime. Alright, we'll be starting soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Ng Chee Meng, Minister for Education, Schools, and Second Minister for Transport. A round of applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you, guest of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Mr. Ng Chee Meng.
Hello, Mr.
Thank you,
Desmond.
sir. Thank you for being here. What an important day of guest of honor is now making his way to the front of the stage. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, guest of honor, sir. Good morning, Minister Ng, Mr. Alan Chan, LTA Chairman, Mr. Yi Chia Sing, Advisor to Chua Chu Kang GRC Grassroots Organizations, Ms. Cheng Li Hui, Member of the Government Parliamentary Committee for Transport, Ms. Adam Lee, LTA Board Member, Mr. Nguyen Hoon Pei, LTA Chief Executive, Mr. Siang Woon Mei, SMRT Deputy Chairman, Mr. Desmond Kuek, SMRT President and Group CEO, friends and partners for the rail industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Again, please, a round of applause. My name is James and I'm your host for today. Thank you so much for joining us at the launch ceremony of the Tuas West Extension. The Tuas West Extension, or TWE for short, will add 4 more stations and 7.5 kilometers to the current East-West line. The TWE brings good news to many who are working here in the Tuas area, as it will help them save time on their daily commute. Without further ado, we'd now like to invite our guest of honor, Minister Ng, on stage to deliver his speech. Minister Ng, please.
Friends, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all of you. It's good to be back here. We were just recounting very fondly 2 years ago when I first became part of the MOT family. I came to visit the construction of this station, and it was literally just bare bones. Today, we have a nice, beautiful station ready to run. As all of you would probably have known, the East-West line was originally conceived to run from Pasir Ris to Jalan Boon Lay only, and the first major works done was actually completed in 1990. At that time, there was some heavy industries in Tuas, but the numbers were not large enough to justify or warrant a MRT line. But since then, I'm glad that Singapore has grown, our economy has grown, and so has Tuas. In fact, Tuas has doubled in size. Many new industries like biomedical, water, and offshore and marine have all sprung up in Tuas. Today, Tuas is still growing, and we expect with the introduction of Tuas Port, the industries here will grow even further. And recognizing that there is this new demand and the growing needs of people traveling to and from Tuas, we made a decision in 2011 to build the Tuas West Extension. Today, I'm really pleased to be with you, all of you here, for the opening. There will be 4 new stations in the Tuas West Extension: Gul Circle, Tuas Crescent, Tuas West Road and Tuas Link. TWE will be connected to the Tuas and Jurong industrial estates by 2 new bus services as well and 4 amended bus services. The bus services will start this very Sunday, 18th of June. Tuas West Extension is expected to serve 100,000 new commuters when it opens. And as I was walking here, my fellow colleague in Parliament, Mr. Ng Chee Meng, also updated me that it is not just the convenience of the MRT that will bring workers to the Tuas West Extension stations, but also the reduction of congestion, including at bus depot in Jurong West. So really good that we are bringing so many amenities to residents in the West and workers in Tuas West. Commuters working in Jurong and Tuas industrial estates will enjoy significant savings in time travel. For example, a worker, a commuter that may be staying in Woodlands that today requires 1.5 hours to come to Tuas West for his or her work, now can make the same journey in less than an hour. This constitutes significant time saving of more than 30%. In fact, I just met a young lady, Eddie. I don't know where she is now. She told me that she stays in Hougang and works in the Raffles Marina just next to this station. She shared with me that she has been looking forward to this Sunday where she will lessen the time by more than 30 minutes to travel from home to here. Today, she takes about almost 2 hours to travel from her home to the workplace. When the line is completely open, it will take her less than 90 minutes, I think. So it's a very good project. The Tuas West Extension is also a significant engineering achievement. It is Singapore's first integrated rail and road viaduct. It stands at 23 meters. The integrated viaduct is really almost twice the height of our average MRT viaduct. The TWE also has the highest elevated station across our whole MRT network. Gul Circle Station stands at 33 meters above ground. And if you need a visualization, it is almost the height of a 10-story HDB block. So from my young friends that are friends of the MRT, that are enthusiastic about trains, this is a good, a good piece of information for you. 33 meters highest MRT station. It's very good to see all the young ones enthusiastic that come all the way here to support this event. Tuas West Extension is part of our Land Transport Master Plan, which we aim to grow our rail network to 360 kilometers by 2030. Other than the Tuas West Extension, commuters can look forward to the opening of Downtown Line 3 later this year. Together with Downtown Line 3, TWE will add another 28.5 kilometers to our rail system, roughly the distance between the northern tip of Singapore to the southern tips of Singapore. And more will follow. We are going full steam ahead with the construction of the Thomson East Coast Line and the Circle Line 6. And by this time next year, we will have commenced civil works on the upcoming Punggol Coast Station on the North East Line extension. Besides the TWE, LTA is also embarking on 2 other major projects to improve rail connectivity for Singaporeans living and working in the western part of Singapore. First, the Cross Island Line, the CRL, will link Jurong, West Coast and Clementi, amongst others, all the way to Changi Airport. We are in the midst of detailed engineering studies and site investigation works. Secondly, the Jurong Regional Line, the JRL, will connect all the key activity nodes in Jurong West, such as the Jurong Innovation District, the Jurong Industrial Estate, and the Jurong Lake District. The JRL is expected to be completed around 2025. We have gazetted the Tengah site for the JRL depot in March this year, and site preparation works are likewise ongoing, and the construction of the depot will commence around 2019. So here in the West, we can look forward to many exciting and new MRT facilities, and not just looking forward to those facilities, but bringing great convenience to residents in this region. Our fundamental objective for doing all this boils down to one thing: to provide public transport that is convenient, comfortable, and reliable, such that Singaporeans will go car light. As I was coming up the escalator just now, a friend commented to me that he drives to work because it's still a little bit inconvenient because he stays in Eunos side. 2 train interconnections he need to make. So he drives to Tuas West. And then he followed and said that, well, there's a terrible jam at the end of the day when he gets back out because of different trucks and different movements. So I asked him, well, between the MRT and driving, which one would be more convenient for you? Thankfully, he's a very fair man. He says MRT. Then I said, there you have it. Why we are building 360 kilometers is to encourage Singaporeans to go car light where we can, so that we can ease the congestion on the roads and provide different chunks of transportation for Singaporeans. The MRT being the backbone, the bus system augmenting the MRT, and cars where we need to provide a holistic solution to Singaporeans' transportation needs. So, where you can, I know some of you are driving. If you don't need to drive, well, use the MRT. So, what has happened in Singapore with this new master plan is that many Singaporeans have changed their transportation habits. Just 5 years ago, 63% of Singaporeans within walking distance to the MRT take the MRT. Today, as of 2016 data, this has grown to an estimated 67% of Singaporeans that would use the MRT for their needs. With the advent of Downtown Line 3, TEL, and later on JRL and CRL, we should reach 80% by 2030. With this, we know that rail reliability is another critical consideration for commuters. And in this, I'm very pleased to note that LTA and the operators, both SMRT and SBST, have made very good progress. In the first 5 months of this year, the mean kilometer before failure indicator of our MRT network, which is a measure of rail reliability, has improved to 387,000 train kilometers. This is more than double the MKBF of 168,000 train kilometers for the same period in 2016. So well done. Our train workers truly deserve our praise and thanks, and for their determination and hard work. Their job is really not an easy one. Not the working conditions, nor the long working hours. And being a minister in transport, I know how much they go through to ensure that the trains are reliable, the trains are comfortable for Singaporeans. CE works with our operators day in, day out. Things that you may not know about. On a Sunday morning at 6 a.m., he would roll up his sleeves and he would be down on the ground with our operators to work through different issues, to meet certain challenges, to ensure that our train system is top-notch. Is there room for improvement? Yes, there is. But we've done well, and I congratulate the team from LTA and the operators. Really good job. And my sincere thanks to all of you that have made the Tuas West Extension possible as well. Also, let me thank all the companies and fellow Singaporeans that are working in the Tuas area for your support and understanding over the last 6 years that we have been building the Tuas West Extension. The noise, the inconveniences are finally over. From next week, you will be able to reap the benefit of your patience and tolerance with faster and more comfortable travel to your offices. Leave your car behind. I'm glad to see so many members of our community together with us also here today. LTA has organized a whole afternoon of events and will be giving free rides for you to familiarize yourselves with this new extension to our East-West line. So all in all, I wish all of you a wonderful afternoon and happy travels on our Tuas West Extension. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. So please remain on stage. I would like to invite you to behind the launch pad. Thank you, sir. And of course, at a moment in time, we'll also like to invite the following VIPs on stage to join Minister for the TWE launch ceremony.